hier mijn lijst met de naam extra grote nieuws voor mijn schriftje. Dus daar kan jij even zeg maar dubbel checken met dat we alleen voorzichtigheid. Maar dat daar lees ik dubbel checken. Alleen ik
Bro, Rick, put me in the front. I don't care. Put me in the front. Sorry. Yeah, come. We sit next to each other, right? Wait. Who's taking? I don't know which one.
There's some more space.
Ah, that is the left. Which side is it? Right? Right? Right or
Okay, everybody smile and say cheese. Cheese. Whiskey.
Whiskey!
Other drinks.
Don't take pictures. Don't pictures. Don't
Gonna
pictures.
throw the hat.
What?
Don't do this or
Oh, we're
that,
already throwing it now?
because you're gonna get another one.
I don't want it. I just got
So be careful. I will count to 1, 2, 3, and then you throw.
Oh, wait.
Okay?
Now? Oh, yeah.
1, 2, throw. Now you can follow me.
Someone should go. You can actually break the ice. Break the ice. Break the ice. That's the old one.
Wait, be real time, it'll be perfect now. You'll be real time.
Wait. Loading. Why is it not loading? Perfect. Oh, guys, this looks like chili right now.
Oh.
No, it's not from here. This one is.
Here's good.
Yes.
Sie dachte, der wäre schon ein Zwischenabschluss. Echt? Mit dem man gar nichts machen kann.
That's fast. Exactly. Yeah. No, no, no.
Scheiße, jedes Mal, wenn ich hier dran komme.
So, dear candidates, dear parents, grandparents, family and friends of the candidates, on behalf of Maastricht University and particularly on behalf of the Faculty of Medicine, Health and Life Sciences, I would like to welcome you all here today in the Maastricht Saal to this very special meeting of the Board of Examiners. And of course, I would like to also welcome everybody who is logged in and is following this ceremony online through the live stream. My name is Tanja Adam, and I'm the Vice Chair of the Board of Examiners. This meeting today is very special because its sole purpose is to present our candidates with their certificates, to congratulate them and celebrate their achievement with their bachelor certificate. So today 60 students will graduate from the Bachelor of European Public Health, and before we start the ceremony, I would like to introduce a couple people to my right here. First, I would like to welcome Dr. Matt Commerce. He's the overall program coordinator of the program Bachelor European Health, and I would like to also welcome Danielle Peters from the Education Office. She will hand you out the roses later in the ceremony. And since this is an official gathering and an official meeting, I would like to also open it officially with a gavel. So I would like to first give the floor to Dr. Commerce, who will start the ceremony with a welcome note to all of you.
Thank you very much, Tanya. Thank you, Daniela, for being here today. Welcome, graduates. Welcome to the first of your fourth-year lectures. Just kidding. Welcome to our graduates. Welcome to parents, grandparents, family, other family, and friends. I don't know if there are any possible children of Beppies here today. Okay, we just received a report about 2 years ago that actually there is the first Beppie baby. Two of our alumni had a child together. So there are plenty of possibilities here. Maybe you'll make some more. We'll see, I guess. So it's a great pleasure to be here today. I have the pleasure and indeed the privilege as the director of the Bachelor of European Public Health to welcome all of you here today to this graduation ceremony of 2022. Graduates, you are now, as we promised you at the beginning, you are excellently trained in the foundation of public health, and you have all of the skills you need to emerge over time as excellent public health professionals. You are also, of course, specialists on Europe. You understand European institutions. You have a very good understanding of the foundations of the European Union and the treaty, and you know how those institutions and rules apply within the healthcare and public health arena. And you are more necessary and needed than ever. If we look just over what has happened the past 2.5 years, you have been uniquely impacted, of course, by the coronavirus pandemic. When you came here in 2019 and started, no one had heard of COVID-19 because it really didn't exist, or at least had not gone further than just a very, very few people. We had, of course, the first SARS outbreak approximately 20 years ago. And in the course of your study, all of a sudden, after 4 months, the pandemic started and we had to go into lockdown, as you recall. Infectious disease, as you've learned, both professionally and now actually in the personal process that you've experienced in your study, knows no borders. And that is one of the reasons why a very well-trained public health professional workforce is so necessary. And some of you, of course, will pursue careers in infectious disease prevention and control. It's very necessary. We also see, of course, the steadily changing climate and its influence on all of the factors and the preconditions for our health status. Whether it be something that's very close to home in our field, such as the increasing rates or spread of malaria in Southern Europe, or the first cases of dengue fever, which have just occurred over the past 5 years in Europe because of the changing climate and therefore the ability of vectors to migrate further north, or whether it be the much larger issues associated with things like food security, food production, the availability of water at adequate levels, not too much, not too little, and all of the impact of serious weather events or thermal events like heat waves. So important that we prepare adequately on so many levels, including the public health arena. Now, we also see, for example, the rise of diabetes in Europe. I was just looking this morning at some numbers, and we see about 60 million people in the European region of the WHO, which you know is far more extensive than the European Union, are currently living with diabetes, and we expect that to increase about 10% over the next 10 years. So also in terms of diet, lifestyle, exercise, and health, that side of this field is also so extremely important. Now, there's a range of new tools that, of course, have become available and are steadily more becoming available. We see an amazing transformation in the area of biological and medical technologies, the Internet of Things as well, including all of the customization of information, but also misinformation, which is non-deliberate, incorrect information, or even, in fact, disinformation, which we've seen as such a prevalent fact during the coronavirus pandemic, where information that is false is deliberately spread in our field. So important and can have such an impact. Energy generation through fusion. We're making incredible strides in that worldwide, and some people are even predicting that by 2030, we could have workable fusion reactors that are generating more energy than they actually take. Artificial intelligence, or even space-based research. I had the privilege to advise one person doing her thesis on space health, which was the first thesis that we've ever had on space health in the program, and also issues around geoengineering and climate change. All of these things will have to be informed by new norms, values, and ethics. In other words, human technologies. And in many ways, you've been prepared to start to participate in that conversation, and I think many of you will find yourselves involved in the confrontation between our field in public health and healthcare and the emergence of a wide variety of technologies. And I haven't even mentioned, actually, the genetic technologies that are becoming so widespread at this time and making such incredible leaps that offer, in some ways, opportunities for us, but also great risks. So these technologies will imply they imply new opportunities for health as well as some threats, and you will be part of the dialogue in engaging that and promoting public health across Europe and more broadly. So to your graduation, a graduation is both an end and a beginning, and Pliny the Elder said, "From the end springs new beginnings." Very special idea. Now, I would like to give a few insights for you to take with you today as you go out into your master programs and also into the workforce. Based on some quotes, I didn't keep them, they're not all European, but the majority are. So the first is one message. This poet from Turkey, Mehmet Murat İldan, said, "There's a hidden message in every waterfall. It says, if you are flexible, falling will not hurt you." So my first takeaway for you is dream big and dare to fail, because you will find that by doing that, you'll stumble into the right answers. Obviously, always taking into account the potential risks, But with well-calculated risks, taking chances is what leads to innovation. So dream big and keep doing that. Margaret Thatcher wrote, "Constitutions have to be written on hearts, not on paper." I think this is a profound statement. And my message to you, and I think the takeaway here, is to build legitimacy with real debate. Over time, within the European Union, we see debate consistently about the role of the EU versus the competencies and authorities of the member state, and you will be continually engaged in that dialogue as well over time. And so the way to address that is to engage in deep debate, authentic debate, open and transparent dialogue, because that's what ultimately leads to consensus and to that feeling that the rules that we adopt are things that we cherish in our hearts and truly believe in. Goethe said, "Daring ideas are like chessmen moving forward. They may be beaten, but they may start a winning game." So I want to encourage you to initiate and to create in this field. As you've seen, this field is an amazingly broad field that opens up so many possible avenues to you. You're the 15th group to be graduating from the Bachelor of European Public Health, and I can tell you that as those who graduated from this program before you have gone out into the field, we see them going in so many different interesting directions. And that means that you're going to need to bring ideas into those other fields. I had an uncle who was a patent attorney, and I once said to him, "Carl, what is the mark of a great inventor?" And he said, "Well, actually, most of my clients, all of his clients as a patent attorney, because he wrote patents for inventors," he said, "most of them take ideas out of one field and apply them in another field. So it's not so much that they completely invent something new, but they cross-apply it into their own field." So I want to encourage you, look abroad, look to the other industries that you have contact with, and try to bring innovative ideas into our field in public health. Tuli Madonsela, who is South African, said, "I need to listen well so that I hear what is not said." And I think if there's one thing that we've seen over really the post-war period is an awareness that much of what is important is not necessarily given voice or said. So find the gaps. Discover what's not said. Make the invisible visible, as a great sociologist once said. Very important as well to our field to bring forward the undiscovered and to bring forward a voice for those whom we see are so vulnerable as well in terms of public health. Sharon Begley said, "Somewhere, something incredible is waiting to be known." And I think many of you have found some very interesting insights in your theses. I had the privilege of advising 6 of you this year on your theses, and every year I learn an enormous amount from the theses I read, both those whom I've advised and then also the ones that I grade as a second grader. Never stop discovering. We are a scientific field. We try to embed the knowledge that we bring to the public in solid science, both natural and social science, and something that is part of our field and that you've been trained in is that way of scientific thinking. You are very well equipped to seek new knowledge in the literature, as that's what you've been doing basically for 3 years. You've been going out into the scientific literature and bringing insights back to your tutor groups, back to your project groups, and onto your exams. So keep going on that. Reinvent yourself once in a while. You may not have to do this immediately, but at some point in your careers you probably will. And George Eliot, who was actually Mary Ann Evans, said it's never too late to be what you might have been. Very beautiful statement. And I think as you'll see in public health, you will over time probably adopt a range of different roles, as our field is a highly dynamic field and oftentimes calls on a wide variety of skills. We also see that just in the economy generally. People are having to adapt themselves, lifelong learning, continual adaptation to the needs of the employment market. So keep in mind that you can reinvent yourself once in a while. It might take a little bit of time, but there are many different iterations of you that are likely to be applied over the course of your career. And step by step, lastly, from Bruce Lee said, make at least one definite move daily toward your goal. His life story was certainly a story of perseverance, and he reached some amazing achievements in the course of his career. And I want to encourage you as well. It's the little steps, day by day, that continual process of building your work and making your contribution to our society and to the health of our society that will be so important. I want to let you know that Maastricht University is behind you. We are ranked among the world top, in fact, by the Times Higher Education ranking. Maastricht University has been ranked of the past few years in the top 130 universities in the world for education, and we are maintaining a very stable position there. The Bachelor of European Public Health is well known and respected within the Directorates General of the European Commission. We were well reaccredited back in 2019. We got scores of good across the board. And so I think it's safe to say, and I'm glad to be able to promise you, that your degree is a secure and I believe maybe even improving credential. But we're here and we're going to be continuing to maintain the quality of this credential, which is going to be following you over the course of your career. And you contributed that as well, and you will continue to contribute to that as you make your mark in the employment arena. But Maastricht University is also in front of you. So graduates have gone on to a vast array of master programs, as I mentioned, from human development to epidemiology, global health, health policy. We see people going in even to tangential fields in psychology, business, law, but also in terms of employment, our graduates and your peers have gone on to work in all three sectors, whether it be the public sector at any level, from regional to national to even supranational like the EU institutions, but also the commercial sector, working in pharmaceutical regulation or medical devices or consultancy. And finally, the nonprofit sector, foundations and lobby organizations that are in the public interest. These are all areas that we've seen graduates go on to work, and we've had some go to the commission itself, some very prestigious PhD fellowships, and also working at Fortune 500 companies. So there's a lot out there for you to do. There's an amazing amount of opportunity, and I'm excited for you on that. Alumni are critical to the success of our program, and I just want to ask you, please do create a profile on LinkedIn if you haven't done that, because we will link with you, and I'm personally linked with many, many of our graduates. If you invite me, I will automatically link up with you. Offer to participate in our alumni profiles if you would for open days. We hope to stay in touch with you. And I want to encourage you as well to keep in touch with each other. I know that many of our graduates do. You have your cohort here and other people whom you may know in a previous year or years who are younger than you. Keep in touch, because actually this is a small and special program in that regard. And you have a very unique identity with just 70 to 100 of you per year graduating, and this being the 15th graduating cohort. You're actually part of a very small and special community in that regard, so take advantage of that because it is there for you. On the future of Europe, and somewhat in closing, Winston Churchill said, "We're asking the nations of Europe, between whom rivers of blood have flowed, to forget the feuds of 1,000 years." Such a profound statement, and one that resonates today. Olaf Scholz recently said in the spring, "There's a war in Europe. My wish is for the European Union to unleash its strength and continue to act in unity to ensure that peace in Europe has a good perspective. That is what is at stake now, also at the summit in Versailles." And Emmanuel Macron said, "We have a huge responsibility to make sure that Europe remains a prosperous and peaceful continent." And I think our work in public health and healthcare is part of that overall initiative. And that is also one of the reasons for the European dimension in a program like this, which emerged out of the desire for peace in the post-war period and the foundation of the European Union as a result of that very, very important mission. To close with just one quote from, as you know, one of my absolute favorite theorists in public health, René J. Dubos, who was born just north of Paris and ended up spending a good deal of his career at Rockefeller University, one of the actual discoverers of antibiotics, together with that small community of people who in the 1920s and 30s really gave the world antibiotics, and then later became known as a philosopher of earth and an ecologist. And Dubos said, health is an expression of the extent to which individuals and social groups maintain in readiness those resources necessary to meet the exigencies, and by that he meant the challenges of the future. I think this is one of the most profound and beautiful definitions that I know of health. And I think what you are graduating today with skills that are part of these resources, part of our societal resources to meet the challenges of the future. As well, at an individual level, this is a resource for you to pursue your dreams in your life. And in that regard, I wish you very much success with the next steps in your career, whether it be your master program or your next steps in the workforce. It is wonderful to see you today, and I thank you very much for your attention. And we'll be moving forward with the ceremony now today. Thank you.
So I'll take, can everybody hear me? Yeah, I think this works fine. So then we'll proceed now with the actual graduation, and I'm going to explain the procedure a little bit to you first. First, thank you, Dr. Commerce, for that inspiring speech. The graduation actually will take place in 3 groups, and I will call the candidates in alphabetical order. So I do my very, very best to pronounce your especially last names correctly. Forgive me if that doesn't work in all cases exactly. But like since we're in alphabetical order, you have an idea already where you're located in the call. We have 5 graduates who graduated cum laude, and I will announce that too, together with the name when I call them. And the students themselves or a friend or colleague has submitted for each one a little statement that says something personal or says something about the study, and Dr. Commerce will read that statement once our candidate is here in the front.
We had one of your fellow students who was going to be reading today, but unfortunately she fell ill just yesterday, so if you'll permit me, I'm going to read the text that you submitted.
Yeah, thank you. That's very nice of you. So I will present you with the certificate and I will congratulate you. Do we want to make an arrangement? Do you want to shake hands? Do you want a box? What is your preference? Box? Okay, so we're going to do a box. We can do nothing too, whatever you prefer. Whatever. If you hold out your hand, I will shake your hand. That's fine with me. So once you received your diploma, you will move on to Daniele, and Daniele will present you with a rose. You can go stand in front of the banner with your diploma and your rose, and then a picture will be taken. And while you're moving out, we're gonna give an applause to you and the next person that I called in. Yeah? Okay, so then I would like to now start with the first group of students. You can start now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So first we have Maral Agababai. Where are you?
She wrote, "Alhamdulillah, I made it." sort of like this, okay?
You move this way.
Yeah, if you just walk right along the front here, get the diploma, and then you can get a rose, okay? So if everyone just kind of comes down along the front here and proceed to that direction, then you'll get your rose and then also the photograph, okay?
Yeah? Okay. Now, congratulations, Maral. Then we have Abby Aguirman.
Abby wrote, studying at Maastricht University has provided me with the opportunity to meet various interesting people from across Europe. Studying EPH has provided me with a perspective for my future career and the knowledge of how the decisions we make on earth have an influence on public health. Though I am left curious, I strive to learn more.
Congratulations, Abby. Now we have Shella Akwete or Akwet.
Shella wrote, my hobbies are cooking creative meals, music, listening to podcasts about mental health. B.B. King once said, the beautiful thing about learning is that nobody can take it away from you.
Fatima Al-Masabi.
Fatima, your quote was, the only impossible journey is the one you never begin, from Tony Robbins.
Now we have Ines Aufi.
Inez wrote, EPH is an experience, and you, Inez, have made the most out of it. She took all the opportunities coming her way, from student ambassador to program ambassador, representing EPH at numerous events. That's certainly true. After an enriching placement at the EMC DDA, she is now an associate consultant at the RPP group in Brussels, where she experiences firsthand the importance of health policy.
Juanita Asante.
Junita, you wrote, people's motivations for pursuing higher education and obtaining a degree can vary greatly. Although I encountered sleepless nights, probably due to your thesis, as your thesis advisor, I think that's probably, I persevered and I discovered the value of education. Indeed, education is like a foundation for the future, and tomorrow truly belongs to those who plan and prepare for it today.
Next is cum laude, finished Jill Bartolmi.
Jill, you wrote, during her studies, or your studies, She learned a lot about living healthier and believes that public health should be promoted more, especially when it comes to nutrition and physical activity.
Next is Marta Bartnika.
She believes the one thing more important than gaining her bachelor's degree is the friends she made along the way. She will always have fond memories of studying the art form of statistics, something she holds dear to her heart.
Congratulations, Marta.
Oh. No.
Elvis Pitar.
So, Elvis, you kept it short and concise. Bedankt. So. Translation is thank you for those of you doing.
Simon Julius Boch.
Thank you for being the best cohort and for everyone who is part of our 2019 to 2022 EPH program cohort to make the time in Maastricht unforgettable.
Congratulations, Simon. Nice job. Julie Boelen.
In the future, she will look back at those 3 years with a great feeling of achievement. It sure was a roller coaster of emotions, learning, and experiences, but a fun one nonetheless.
Congratulations, Julie. Louise Bonbosson.
During her bachelor's degree, Louisa met new people, improved her English, and some of her Dutch. She also became more independent as she moved to a new city. But above all, she's acquired a lot of knowledge, pushed her limits, and gained self-confidence.
Chenu Okai.
During my 3 years of EPH study, I've made many wonderful friends and shared unforgettable memories with them. I love going for a walk at the St. Petersburg and enjoying a picnic on a sunny day. I will continue my master's study at Leiden University in the next 2 years. Hopefully, I would make my dream of becoming an epidemiologist come true.
Priscilla Daci.
Priscilla is a goal-driven individual who is passionate about life. Studying in Maastricht University has been a life-changing experience. Through the storm, she's been able to keep her head high and persevere. She has created long-lasting relationships and memories she will carry with her. Now, here she is to conquer the world. Cheers to success.
Shekina da Silva.
Shekina enjoyed her time at Maastricht University, even if she would like to describe these years as a roller coaster ride. That's the second time we've heard that. She is thankful to her parents and her sisters for supporting her and grateful for all the people she met during her studies.
Kim de Haan.
She has made a lot of great memories during her time in Maastricht. She has now moved to The Hague to continue her education in the field of public health.
Kay Donnelly.
Kay, you quoted Albert Einstein, who said, "Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving."
Madeleine Edle von Braunmühl.
Thank you so much. I am extremely happy now.
Soraya L.I.
Soraya is proud to be a cum laude graduate of this program, which has taught her so much in the past 3 years. She believes that doing this bachelor's degree in the midst of a pandemic gave her studies meaning and showed the importance of empathy and solidarity in society.
So now we have a short intermezzo now in form of a movie by Professor Helmut Brandt. Professor Brandt is the Jean Monnet Professor of European Public Health, and he's also the chair of the Department of International Health. He can't be with us in person because he's traveling, but he would like to address you all in a little movie that he made for you.
Welcome students, or better, welcome graduates. Welcome sponsors, formerly known as parents. Welcome family and friends. My name is Helmut Brandt. I'm the Jean Monnet Professor of European Public Health at Maastricht University and head of the Department of International Health that is organizing these courses. Normally, the students would sit here in this lecture hall and listen to what is taught to them. Now I'm sitting here. I'm sitting here because I cannot be with you at your graduation day, as I have to travel to India for our antimicrobial resistance project that we run for the European Union. We thought, what can we do different in this graduation ceremony when I'm not there? So no long speeches, no philosophical words, no tips how to make a successful career. The corona pandemic influenced your study time very strongly. We all had a very steep learning curve in the digitalization of the education. So what we come up with is, we would like to take you to a journey to those places that we normally would have taken you in person, but could not. So this virtual journey is something that now starts just across the border in the city of Aachen. Please follow us. Welcome to Aachen. We are not here because of the cozy old town that you see in front of us, and we are not here because of the cathedral that you see here in Aachen, but we are here because of the person who built this. And that's him, Charlemagne. Around 800 he unified most countries on the European continent under his leadership. Some people call him, therefore, the first creator of Europe. But his concept was different from the one that we know now. He used force to unite, and he was thinking of having a Christian empire that he will rule. So it's a different approach from today. The city of Aachen is recognizing this, and therefore they issue the Karlspreis to an eminent person that is dealing with European integration. And what does this all have to do with health? Charlemagne selected Aachen because of the hot springs that you see here. And they have been used over hundreds of years later on. So it's a good example for the first upcoming of medical tourism. The people in Aachen have a strong relation to history. So they even use empty corona vaccine bottles to build a model of the Aachen Cathedral. We are now heading ahead in time and place. We are here in Münster, 220 kilometers from Maastricht, and we look at the year 1648. And at this time, here at the old city hall of Münster, there was the Treaty of Münster signed that ended the 30-year-old war. And here we have a special room that is dedicated to this, and please follow me. The writing over the door to the hall says, "Peace is the highest good," and it's very much important today too. The treaty ended the 80 years war between Spain and the Netherlands, and in the end created the new Netherlands. It was a special freedom because there was no clear winner and loser of all those wars going on. So they had to negotiate freedom. And by this, they laid also the foundation to the modern state system, as they accepted that there is a concept of territorial sovereignty and that religion should not matter so much. Why is this important for today? Some of those diplomats from the Near East say if they would have had their 1648 moment, there would have been less war in the Near East and a lot of migration that caused a lot of health problems would have not happened. Also at that time they used the short messaging services, so this is the Twitter of that time announcing that the treaty has been signed. We are now heading back to Maastricht, but make a stop over at Pfalz, where three countries meet at one point. The Drielandenpunt is the location where Belgium, Germany and Netherlands meet at one single point. On the one hand, it's a tourist attraction. You can stand with one foot in one country and with the other one in another one. But on the other hand, it's a symbol for European public health too, because it shows very nicely what cross-border healthcare is about. 30% of the people live in border regions, and we can experiment with this as a lot of people work on one side of the border and live on the other side of the border. So where to choose your GP and your sickness fund. This is all what is important for this, and I think over the years in your studies you heard a lot about this, that we use these models and enlarge them then to regulations that cover the whole European Union. We are now back in Maastricht, where you spend most of your time of your studies and where your sponsors visited you and where we hope you had a good time. Let's have a last look at the city skyline. We have seen now the old churches of Maastricht and the Wilhelmina Bridge, and we are now turning to the new part of the Maastricht city. And at the end of this bridge, there's a place, 1992, that reminds us that 30 years ago in Maastricht, the Maastricht Treaty was signed, and this had a lot of influence on what happened in the European Union, as it was the first time that the health mandate was mentioned. It was signed there in the regional governmental building that you see at the horizon, that are those buildings with the funny roofs. For most of you, the creation of the euro was the most important issue from this Maastricht Treaty, but of course for us it's a public health mandate that showed up the first time in this treaty. And when we look around at place 1992, we can give some example what this means. In front of us there is an Albert Heijn, a grocery shop where you all have shopped, and you could do this without having to worry about food safety, as this is one of the most important issues of the European Union, to have this sorted out. And when we look a little bit more to the left, there's a travel office. We all love to travel, and we have the freedom to travel. That is not always guaranteed today, and we can do so in the Schengen area without showing our passports. And it's not only that the European Union abolished the roaming charges. No, you also have accident insurance when you travel around Europe. Just look for the logo of your health insurance card. And then there is a cafe. Perhaps some of you even worked there, because we have the freedom to study and to work wherever you like in Europe. And this is important too, because thanks to Erasmus, you could do so not only in European countries but others. And so the first steps are taken. Now we are back from our journey, and I hope you enjoyed it a little bit. All the different places we visited have a connection to European public health. And I think it was more entertaining than a boring lecture. So please remember, from now on, you are not only graduates of European public health, no, you are ambassadors too. And you are this twofold. On the one hand, you are ambassadors of European public health. So please wave the flag of European integration in health. And the other function is that you are an ambassador of Maastricht University. So both are very important functions, and we count on you that you will take the chance wherever you are to act as a good ambassador. We wish you all a successful career and, of course, good health. And now the graduation ceremony can continue.
Yeah, thanks to Professor Prun, just in case he follows us online. Thank you very much for that movie and that great effort. And then we can continue with the ceremony and the certificates. And next would be Emma van der Elsen.
Following the courses from European Public Health for the past 3 years has led me to develop myself in various ways, both professionally and personally. Maastricht University has provided me with new experiences and the ability to grow. I'm excited to see what the future holds.
A cum laude student is Ashlyn Finney.
Ashlyn enjoyed getting to know Maastricht and learning about public health developments, especially during her digital health minor. She's taking a gap year during which she's learning Polish and traveling.
Floor Franke.
The recognition for this area has grown during our study time. I always had to explain what I was studying. In the end, there was no need. I regret that the study program has been influenced by Corona, but the freedom it has given me has definitely taught me other things. For a master's, I first want to know better where my interests really are.
A cum laude student Emily Gaurun.
Emily, you wrote, discovering the group function for open tabs earlier would have made her study life much easier.
Feline Gnauert.
She plans to go traveling and then do a master's in human rights and humanitarian action.
Congratulations, Feline. Jakob Hart.
Jakob, you wrote, great success.
Congratulations, Jakob. E for Evie Haunhanu.
Thankful for those 3 years, it's all praise to the Lord.
Congratulations. Navav Elias.
I believe that my diligent, persistent characteristics come to the truth. I have successfully and proudly achieved a bachelor's degree after multiple breaks. Despite the COVID-19 crisis and almost 2 years of remote learning, I have received an excellent education, gained new life experiences, and many international friends at Maastricht University.
Evelina Jahimovica.
Coming from Latvia, the country where health outcomes have shown unfortunate statistics, gaining knowledge of European health systems and actions to reduce the impact of ill health on individuals has become my main educational goal, which Maastricht University allowed me to reach. I'm happy to kick off my career in public health and public affairs in Brussels.
Sophie Jeppesen.
After completing her bachelor, Sophie has now started a master's in health economics, policy, and management. She would like to thank everyone she met at the university and her family for their support throughout the bachelor.
Carlotta or Charlotta Campos.
I can't believe I did it. Thank you, Study Drive and friends. I'll miss you both.
Jacqueline Kessel.
I really enjoyed studying European public health, especially all topics related to metabolic diseases, nutrition, and planetary health. It prepared me well for my further studies, as I'm currently doing the Master in Global Health. Gladly, I can stay one more year in this lovely city to make some more unforgettable memories.
Hala Cliff.
Thank you to our teachers and parents and families and friends. You all have helped shape us into the people you see today, and I can say in total confidence that without you, we would have become very different.
Linda Lee.
Linda's future plans are to continue on this path and thus pursue her studies in public health and eventually work as an epidemiologist one day.
Cum laude ist Bo Lichtenberg.
He has been happy with his time in Maastricht and has decided to continue his public health path in Sweden.
Congratulations, Paul. Kenya van der Loo.
She plans to use her degree to make strides toward equality and health for all. She would like to thank her professors, family, study drive, and most importantly, her friends, because without their support, she wouldn't be where she is today.
Sarah de Marke.
Raised in Dubai, Sarah loves sport and exploring the world, is positive, ambitious, and driven. She thrives on challenges and constantly sets goals for herself, always looking for an opportunity to do better and achieve greatness.
Cesara Makou.
Confucius, you quoted, "Wherever you go, go with all your heart."
Lena Mende.
Lena loved sailing on the Maas and foster her knowledge on infectious disease and climate change, both of which she will continue while pursuing her master's in global health.
Congratulations, Lena. Maaike Mes.
Look, Mom and Dad, I made it.
So before we continue with our third group of graduates and candidates, we have a short intermezzo by Professor Kasia Shabanowska. Professor Shabanowska is professor in public health leadership and workforce development.
Thank you. Dear graduates, dear parents, family and friends of the graduates of European Public Health, I'm very honored to be here and speak to you today and share some reflections. So there are only few reflections that I have for you today that are important from the perspective of your future career. So public health is about making bridges. And I have heard that many of you have already gone somewhere. You study global health, you study governance and leadership in European public health, and some of you may have decided to do some internship or work before moving back to the university. And you make these bridges every day. you try to connect people, places, organizations, and this is what public health is about. And you achieve. Public health rests on achievement. And today we've heard that you are the cohort that lived through the pandemic. So you also have learned that you had to make a switch, that you had to change, and you learned differently, sometimes in isolated places, being on your own, and you had to work differently, making sure that you deliver in spite of the circumstances, and you learned that you will have to lead differently people who may be on distance in other countries, and that you will always have to make sure to keep them motivated. So this is what we have learned. We have also learned that there are some critical competency areas in public health that we need to have. And these competency areas are related to really hard scientific methods that allow us to produce evidence-based results. Epidemiology, I've heard that 2 of the students want to continue in this field, but I'm sure that a lot of you find epidemiology as an important science for public health. But it is not enough. The COVID pandemic has shown, and I have heard that in all these little texts that my colleague Matt has read, that it has to be blended with empathy, understanding of another human being, and feeling for other people. You can't achieve success without blending these two. And then we talk about professionalism. Professionalism in public health. We don't want people to ask you, what is public health? What is that you study? I think that the current developments have proven that now we and the public understand what public health is, and that this is a professional field. Although it is so multidisciplinary, and there are so many different jobs that you can take, it is a profession. And there are currently a lot of studies and a lot of initiatives carried out by different organizations, researchers, WHO, to make sure that public health workforce, the workforce of preparedness and response, is professionalized, is well equipped to address the challenges. It means that you need to have a competency-based education, that you need to have credentials, that you need to be guided by codes of ethics and professional conduct, that you need to have possibility for continuing professional development and education, and that you need something very important, your own self-government bodies. Like medical doctors have chambers, public health professionals need to have their own self-government bodies. And in the research that I carry out about professionalization, it turns out that this is a barrier for our graduates. So it is in your hands to work for it, to lobby, and to find how you can make an organization that will protect your rights. And then the next part is you need leaders, people who will be able to push the public health agenda and professionalization forward. And we hear about we need leadership in the different documents, but what it means. You need to really act and have a vision and strategy and be able to transform the existent policies that maybe don't work, or maybe they are in place, but nobody cares. So it is your duty. And I think a duty that is responsibility and also passion, because you have made a choice. you decided to study and to work in public health. And I wish you success, and I congratulate your parents, family, and friends, and first of all, you. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Schabanowska. And then we continue with our third block of candidates. And our first candidate here is Nadine Naumann.
Okay, Nadine, you wrote, 1 credit equals 28 hours. 180 credits equals 5,040 hours. 5,040 hours equals a piece of paper and a handshake.
Congratulations. Viviane Pappas.
She embraced every course and assignment in the same vivacious way that she savored every 8:30 morning with a passion. She loves Maastricht so much that she moved to the furthest possible Dutch city to pursue her master's degree.
Anne-Sophie Paulussen. We had some issues with Anne-Sophie's photo.
Oh.
So you all have to look at her in person. This is Anne-Sophie. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Shivan Peters. Anna Rakas.
Anna does not really have many in-person memories from her bachelor's. However, she's glad she'll no longer have to endure the awkward silences in Zoom meetings during tutorials. In the future, she has hopes of contributing to the healthcare sector by improving equity and equality of health across all races and ethnicities.
Vivian Regenstein.
Do or not do, or do, excuse me. I'll try again. I hope I don't look like Yoda when I read this, but do or do not. There is no try.
Elina Safka.
I believe that this bachelor experience will help me pursue my ambitions as a future public health professional, a mission that I'll dedicate myself to wholeheartedly. Friendly skating and life advice. It doesn't matter how many times you fall. What counts is how many times you stand up again and try.
Sana Siddiqui. Congratulations. Oceane Zen.
Her 3 years spent at Maastricht University will always be regarded with profound gratitude and affection. The ups and downs, all part of the journey, allowed her to become the person she is today.
Olga Ziebeck.
Okay, you provided a Donald Trump quote from January 22nd, 2020. We have it totally under control. It's one thing coming in from China. We have it totally under control. It's going to be just fine.
Lea Siemens. It's Siemens, Lea, sorry.
She is certain that with the knowledge she obtained throughout her bachelor, she is well prepared for her future life and career.
Angela Schoblom-Menzinger.
Angela is happily co-working in Torlignan, France, at the Foyer de Vie Labiale, a small living space that is part of the Camp Hill movement and welcomes 23 adults living with a mental disability. The life of Béal evolves around 4 houses, a small farm, gardens, an aromatic herb workshop, and a rich cultural and social life.
Lena Strohmeier.
Her plans for the future are to pursue an academic career in the field of health ethics. Her favorite memories of her studies are from the trip to Krakow, and in her free time, she likes to learn how to code and learn new languages.
Congratulations, Lea. Tara Sundgren.
What a journey it has been. I learned 2 things. Ask FHML and that I need a break from studying. I'll miss the people though. Peace out.
Noemi Tiran.
Without rain, nothing grows.
Simone Toussaint.
Zij is alles, alles, alles, alles in één. Ze heeft de beauty en de brains en oh, oh, oh, het voelt goed. Simona, step up and take your spot in the limelight, our adored academic queen. All your dedication, patience, and endeavor paid off. Now the sky is the limit.
Congratulations. Eveline van der Lanotte.
Eveline applied for the Bachelor's of European Public Health without a clue of what it entailed. She just went for it, and it turned out that she loved it. She can't wait to see where life will bring her next. She quotes, "The best things in life happen unexpectedly."
Simon Verstralen.
I found this bachelor through Instagram and convinced my parents that this might be something for me. Throughout my studies, my initially enthusiastic feeling kept me being confirmed through online learning and on-campus classes. After finishing my bachelor's, I'm expanding my knowledge in the Master of Epidemiology.
Congratulations, Simon. Alice Wickel.
Still hoping to go to Krakow someday.
Congratulations. Sanne van Weers. Congratulations, Sanne. En Sophia Werenfennig.
If you're happy doing what you're doing, then no one can tell you you're not successful.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of this session in which 60 candidates received their bachelor diplomas. There's just a few more points before we start the celebration or the rest of the celebration. Although we check the information with great care in your diplomas, there's always the possibility that we made an error in your name, in your grades. So please check that all very carefully. And if that is the case and there are mistakes or you have any questions, then please contact the Board of Examiners. In about 3 weeks, a link to the pictures from today will be sent to your email account. So make sure you check for that. So it was a great pleasure for me, of course, to be one of the first ones to congratulate the new bachelor. And from this place, I, of course, would like to congratulate all the parents, the family, grandparents, everybody who is here on your behalf, is proud of you and wants to celebrate with you. And I invite you for this to go to the Tri Landenpunt, that's just right outside the door here, where there's drinks and some snacks ready for you. And this is the end of this meeting. I thank you all very much for being here, and I wish you an unforgettable, celebratory, great day and celebration. Enjoy it, be proud of your achievement. But since I closed this meeting, since I opened this meeting officially, I will also close this meeting officially, of course, with the gavel. So go out and enjoy. Congratulations.